We stayed at Stagecoach Stop RV Park in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, just outside of Albuquerque for 6 months. I'm going to give you our impression of it and whether we think this is the place you should be going if you're going to be near Albuquerque. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Felix Gomes, the Roaming Gomes. We stayed at Stagecoach Stop, as I said in the opener, for 6 months. It's located in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, which is just outside of Albuquerque. The park's address is 3650 State Road 528 Northeast, Rio Rancho, New Mexico, 87144. And they have 80 spots, 8 of which are considered premium spots. Now, their definition of a premium spot is pretty much that you have a little bit of grass on your space. The rest of the park is all sites with paved parking for your rig. And then to the right and left of that is gravel, packed gravel. Pros and cons. I'll start with the pros. The amenities there are pretty much what you'd expect from a RV park that's approaching resort level. You have a pool. There's a hot tub at the pool that's in a separate building. We did not use the hot tub, but we did use the pool quite a bit. Kind of something that was weird with me about that is we seemed to be amongst the very few in the entire park that were using the pool. And we were there in the summertime. But I found it to be a very nice pool. The surrounding area is well decorated with chairs and tables. And it was kept clean. There's a shower room, which is attached to the back of the office. A laundry room, which is attached to that same building. All of that is at the front of the park. They don't have anything else throughout the park. The shower rooms and the laundry and the office are all located in the same building right up front. For us, it's important, the dog park was all sand. And there were a few people that were in there and out of there that were complaining that it was all sand, that there was no grass. But quite honestly, for me, I found it to be perfect. The only problem with the dog park is something I'll get into in the cons. The general look of the park is kind of a standard RV park. It's kept clean and neat. Repairs are done as needed. We had a guy on our last day there. We had a guy across from us who was also leaving, left at 5 o'clock in the morning and hit the post in his site and knocked the water out to the entire park. They were on that when we got up at 6 to prepare to leave ourselves. So, I mean, they were right on the spot doing the repairs as needed. The dumpsters are located by the dog park, and that's another thing I'm going to talk about in the cons, kind of. So stick around for that. And the roads are all wide, plenty wide to bring your even very big RV through, and paved. They were well kept, maintained. Pretty much everything that you'd expect in an RV park was there and available and well maintained. Now the cons. Stagecoach Stop RV Park is literally the only park we've ever been in where we were not happy with the staff. None of them. There were 2 maintenance men and a manager who handled the front desk. None of them were personable, friendly, and to some extent not even nice. I'll give you an example, and this will talk about a little bit about one of the other cons. We replaced our mattress when we were there. We were still using the mattress that came with the RV, and anybody who's been in an RV for any length of time or lives full-time in an RV knows that the mattresses that come with these things are horrendous. The thing was basically a pad, not a mattress. So we bought a new mattress, put it in, and I took the old mattress and I rolled it up pretty tight. It was really a small package, and I tied it up and I threw it in the dumpster. Now, you can see there's no sign that says I can't throw that in there. I received this text message. Not a sorry, not a thank you, not a just a figure something out, get that out of there. Additionally, and this involves one of the other residents, but I was witness to it. He was flying a drone. There was nothing in the rules, no signs, no nothing that said we couldn't use a drone in this park. One of the maintenance men came over to him and said, "You can't," I will quote, and I'm going to not use the expletive that he used, "You can't fly that effing thing in this park. Take it down or I'll shoot it out of the effing air." That is a quote. Nothing preceding that. No warnings, no nothing. That is exactly how he approached it. And again, like I said, there was nothing in the rules of the park that said we couldn't fly drones. I'm a drone pilot. I had flown my drone. Unfortunately, or fortunately, nobody ever saw me flying my drone, but I took it up, flew it around the park. You can see some of the footage right here. And nobody said anything to me. Now, if any of you have watched my review of the Cactus Country RV Resort, which is where we're at right now, one of the pros that I said about this park was that they state their rules and they enforce them. That's great. Let me know exactly what the rules are, and I have no problem obeying them. And I have no problem if I break the rule, you correcting me and telling me that I've broken this rule and I need to not do that anymore. They didn't do that. Both with my case with the mattress and this other gentleman's case with his drone. Another thing was that my wife would park her car on the packed gravel. I would park my truck in front of the rig on the pavement. We had it that way for 4 months, both with her F-150 before this and her Nissan Rogue now, and nobody said anything to us. It was fine, it was great. Pardon me, my cat is losing her mind right now, chasing around one of her toys. But that's a sound you heard in the background. But 4 months in, the manager came up to me while I was outside and said, "You're going to have to move that car. The owners don't want people parking on the gravel." I had no clue. Nobody ever said anything to me prior to that. We ended up in a situation because the guy next to us didn't actually spend any time in his RV. So his car was never there, literally never there. He would show up for maybe 10 minutes and then leave again. But I ended up being able to, I spoke to him and he allowed us to park her car in his spot. That's something that is a personal, peeve for me, a pet peeve for me, when you don't enforce the rules across the board and you kind of make them up as you go along. The other thing that is a little off-putting to me was the dog park. And I kind of mentioned that would be mentioned as a con. And it's this length of fence right here. This is a very big dog park, and it's divided into a side for small dogs and a side for large dogs. This fence in between the two parks is stopping nothing. You see the cinder blocks along the bottom. Those were put there specifically because a larger dog had gotten under the fence and gotten into the small dog park. Very luckily, this was not a vicious dog. It was a very playful, very young dog. And unfortunately for that dog, when she came in, there was a larger dog in the dog park already, the small dog park. And the larger dog put her on her back. Nobody was hurt. No damage was done. But they put these cinder blocks along the bottom of the fence to try and keep that from happening again. And it did. It kept animals from getting under the fence. However, this section of fence was pretty much torn. And there was a large dog that tried to get through there to get to our dog, Bucky. That they did nothing about that, and it really would have taken very little to truly correct the problem, and that is just putting a piece of cyclone fence across there that was sturdy enough to keep the bigger dogs away from the smaller dogs. I was told by longtime residents of this park that that has been the case forever, and they've been talking about doing something to make it better, but they haven't. Other than those two things, the staff and this dog park issue, I really don't have much to say bad about this RV park. It is pretty much a basic RV park with a few amenities that you wouldn't get at the average basic RV park. So it's kind of a middle of the road RV park. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just middle of the road. It's, for lack of a better term, meh. So, that being said, I'm going to give this RV park 3 travel trailers out of 5. Probably should have been 2.5, but I'm going to say 3. And if you're in the Albuquerque area and you need an RV park to stay at, like we did, I mean, we stayed there because it was literally the only place we could get a reservation. I definitely would say that this is a good place to stay. You're not going to be directly on top of your neighbors like we were in I-24, which that link is there. You don't have the widest amount of space, but you're fine. You've got room to spread out, and you've got room to relax and not be right in your neighbor's face. So, out of 5 travel trailers, we give it 3. And that's all I got for this week. Until next time, safe travels.